Hey, everybody. Welcome to Evercast. You'll notice I'm at an undisclosed location here.
Hey, buongiorno, everybody.
Jeez.
Speaking of which, that's Crow. How you doing, buddy?
Yep. Everything
And
works. That's funny because I didn't check anything ahead of time.
awesome, awesome,
It
awesome. And
actually
then
works.
it works. And then directly below me, we have the one, the only Evercanadian.
Yo, 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 peeps.
And then we have Rich operating at Rich Time, and I'm impressed that Streamer actually has all the functionality in Chrome. Either they've done updates, or maybe because I haven't touched it since my older phone. I don't know, but we're here, we're live. That's all that matters. So how are you guys? I know me and Pete are like back from our cruises, and
Back from what?
we went on cruises,
Oh,
Not together.
not together.
Not
Yeah,
together.
that's right. I should make that clear.
You guys went on a couple of cruises. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Separately with our own families.
yeah, it was good. I'm like back in the real world after spending over a week on the in Disney World on a boat, which was really good, really fun.
Oh yeah, dude, I loved. I loved Carnival. Actually, there was a moment too where like we were pulling away in the. They were like, "Now leave reality behind." So they did. I didn't have internet for a week. Didn't mind it. Didn't think about video games or anything. Of course, now I think about that stuff when I'm back. But it's
I
great.
left reality behind a long time ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't have internet, didn't have games with me. And, I did actually take my Evercade, but I didn't come out of my suitcase because I was too busy doing everything else. So no internet,
Yeah.
gaming, nothing. It was
Yeah,
good.
dude. I played. We were waiting maybe for dinner. I maybe just played like a few games on my phone, but that was it. Played a little Crazy Taxi. But I guess I should say hi to the chat. So go ahead and do that. So we have an A&M. I don't know how to say his name. Every cast about to jump the shark. That's great. Hello, Jillian D. We got Andrew Joseph. We got Dewey Hernandez. What else do we have? Scrolling down here, we have RB. We have Vintage Off. We have Atari Fan 72. We have My Cock Hurts. If you do, that's a problem. We have Tales from the Jungle and Wastes. Who else do we have in the chat? Jen Joke. Jason Shoes, Dan Ruff, John Snyderman. Scrolling down here, and yeah. Good morning, everybody. And fan fiction. People coming into the chat here. All right, so I guess I know Rich will be joining us. So all right, do we want to talk about the Hyper Megatech, the big elephant in the room, and all that good stuff?
No, I'll ignore the elephant.
So I know we've all made videos, and we all probably have a lot to say. We haven't all been able to talk about it together. I don't know. Peter Crow, why don't one of y'all start us off?
Yeah, I'll go first. Well, for me, I'm kind of. I think I'm pretty okay with all of it. I think I'm excited that there's new handhelds coming. I think my video spoke for my opinion. Actually, I thought it was really cool. I think I'll reserve judgment on form factor, comfort, build quality, but until I actually get in my hands, because I do have issues with the vertical design, just because the analog pocket was such a challenge and still is a bit of a challenge.
Especially with those shoulder buttons on the back. I don't know how.
Yeah, I don't know how big it is, and stuff like that. I think my overall thing is, and it's not even a critique, to be honest with you. It's just weird they mixed their messaging a bit, like with the Evercade card slot and stuff like that. And I don't want to be an hypocrite, right? I'll be the first. I've always said, go make money, make lots and lots of money, go make money. So we have more Evercade stuff, more just gaming retro stuff, and I have a strong company in the market. So I still feel that way. So I think it's just the little bit of confusion. And I think I figured out why they did it. Like, I think it's basically because of licensing. They needed a new company to do it. But I think it just confuses probably a lot of people with the Evercade, and probably rightfully certain people will get upset about the fact that they might fear the Evercade's going away and it's going to be replaced by these little standalone machines. And there's legitimate complaints about Taito. The only time we're getting Taito is on this. Will we get it on Evercade? So I think it could be cleared up with a lot of communication. coming out for them. That's about it. But I'm pretty excited. Like, I pre-ordered everything because that's who I am, and I'm just happy that they've. I think some people were upset that it was technology that came out of Hyper Megatech too, and I heard that in my comments. But I'm like, but
Well,
it's Hyper Megatech.
I went back and looked at their announcement.
in the thing. So
I went back and looked at their announcement, and it did say products. So
yeah,
what other products were they going to come out with?
Well,
you know.
So as we get into this discussion, I'll have little other points jumping on other people's conversations, but overall, I'm pretty fairly excited. Still a little confused. I think they just need to do a little bit of more messaging in the community. So yeah.
Yes.
And,
Okay. So
anybody says, like, my video says, did they jump the shark? But if you frickin' watch the video, like a lot of morons out there will just go by the title. If you watch the video, I pretty much say they didn't. It's just a clickbait title. So if you're a moron and don't watch videos, you can just not watch my channel, please. Like, there's no room for morons on my channel. There's one moron, the guy who runs it. So, and that's me.
So it was interesting because
come in and comment on the title, you can go piss off.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting because, like, I saw your video, I saw my little pixels, and I'm like, my take was different. So
Ed ripped me off, by the way. So everybody complained to YouTube that Ed ripped my everything. I'm joking.
No, here's what's funny, because I saw yours, and like, dude, that's how I felt. I couldn't articulate it myself. And I honestly felt that they did jump the shark. Okay, so here are a few things.
You got to explain to me why you say they jumped the shark.
Yeah,
I don't see any analogy at all to this jumping the shark.
And for lack of a better word, they pulled an arcade win up, and I'll tell you why. So, Sean, if you're watching, I love you, man. But I feel like that Blaze in general, you hit the nail on the head, Pete. They need to do a better job with communication.
That's better,
right? Because here's what they should have. And so here are my thoughts. First off, they should have said, "Hey, guys." So, okay, let me take a step back. When the whole Hyper Megatech thing came out, we didn't think that they were going to make another Evercade product. We thought, oh, cool, this might be like accessories, controllers, this may even be toys or board games.
It's not an Evercade. It's not an Evercade product.
Well, but here's the thing, though. Like, for somebody like me, like I don't see a difference between Hyper Megatech and Blaze. It's all the same thing. This is,
just to jump in 1 sec, and Ed, I'll agree with you. I wouldn't have agreed with you up until I saw Andrew's email this morning, where he kind of just says the exact same thing. Blaze Entertainment, Hyper Megatech is a part of Blaze Entertainment. Like, he actually says it pretty much in his email. So yeah, I agree with you now on that for sure.
Yeah. So here's the thing, and here are my thoughts. And communicate, like, what they should have done is, I wish they would have said, because to me it appeared like, oh, well, we couldn't get a title license, so we're throwing on this inferior handheld. That, I wish they would have said, this opens the door, this doesn't open the door. There's a big lack of communication. The second thing is that I understand they're trying to bring more people into the Evercade universe, but unless this sells at Targets or Walmarts where your average person knows about it, it's not going to. It's like, when I first got into Evercade, it was difficult to buy it, right? I'm like, do I get it from Fun Stock? Where do I get it from? You can't buy it from Blaze. So for me, like Blaze themselves doesn't sell it. Finding a retailer, like, for somebody in the US is a little bit difficult just to get into it. And so my whole thoughts were, why is Blaze doing this, right? I'm like, this is an inferior product. I can tell by looking at it. The D-pad looks cheap. Like, the title colors are just like, I said puke green. I'll still stand by that.
Hey, I really like those colors. In fact, that's why I pre-ordered it.
I like the colors.
And again, if you guys want to buy this, that's fine. It's not for me. To me, I see this as, like, for somebody who's an Evercade, an Evercade diehard, like a slap in the face. Here's an inferior handheld. I don't want to play Taito this way. I wish they would say, we're coming out with a cart. We're going to give you guys a firmware update on the EXP, but then VS people get screwed again. It's just, like you said, Pete, it's a huge lack of miscommunication. I don't get why they're doing this. I don't get why they're doing this under Hyper Megatech unless they want to trick the public. I feel like they're pulling an arcade one-up. That really sums it up. Like, here's an inferior product.
You might need to elaborate on that. What is pulling an arcade one-up?
Okay, so here's what I mean by jump the shark. I kind of just feel like, so here's my biggest problem with this. You all saw that Blaze recently had a firmware update to come out to do fixes for the Commodore 60. Like, that appears to be their theme. They keep coming out with fixes for stuff, which is fine. But I feel like Blaze keeps getting themselves into stuff where it's distracting from their main focus, and that's what concerns me. Like, is the Duke Nukem collection going to come out with a bunch of...
They've obviously hired more people. So
maybe,
if they did this or they didn't do this, everything Evercade related is still gonna come out at the same pace.
So here's the real issue that I kind of feel about this, right? if they had just come out with a $40 handheld without the Evercade slot in it, I would have been fine. If they just said, "Hey, we want to jump into that market of cheap handhelds. We want people to buy this." But for me, though, like all this. So here's the thing: there's so many digital devices out there. There's so many other different things. We all kind of felt like Evercade was special. It's a cartridge-based system, and I kind of feel like can we just have this one nice thing? Don't meddle with it. Can we just have this one nice thing?
That's
what we signed
this
up
one
for.
nice thing, and there's the fact that there's another thing that can also take those cartridges doesn't detract from your nice thing. Think about back with the Atari 2600, and Pete would know this. The Coleco came out with a compatible,
Yep.
Yeah, but
it also plays cartridges, but it's not an Atari 2600.
Evercade is a Brit. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So here's where. Okay, so I know.
Wait, can I just jump in 1 second?
Yeah.
I think it's, but and you know this. I think you probably jumped the gun by saying the D-pad looks crap, the buttons look crap, and all that. Until you actually play it.
Yeah, I got to reserve judgment for that.
Yeah,
it
looks cheap though.
You know that too, Ed. You can't say that, right? You have to play it, and that D-pad looks it looks similar to what's on the EXP, which I really like. But anyway, like that's what I say. Don't reserve judgment on it until you actually get it in your hands. That's
okay, so here,
I recommend to anybody don't pass that judgment. But everything else is open for game. I 100% agree. Everybody should have a conversation about this. But I mean, I just don't want to prejudge buttons based unless you've played it. That's basically how I look at it. That's
I hear what you're saying, but the way that it looks like when you see like a Chinese handled in the 50-60 range. So here's the
controller. I thought the D-pad on this looked terrible, but after I got it in my hands, this is like the best D-pad I've ever used.
So I want to answer this. So here's the thing, and this is why I said they jumped the shark, because I just kind of feel like why did Blaze need to come out with something that's like, to me this feels like very gimmicky, right? And here's why I said they pulled an arcade one up, because with an arcade one up, like they kind of came out with like cheaper quality, cheaper things. And here's the thing: I get they're trying to get your average user base, but your average user isn't going to be searching for this unless they can find it like in the store, right? Like I hope I'm wrong. I want this to take off.
Are you saying they won't be in stores because Best Buy is selling it? That's where I pre-ordered mine from.
Yes, but it needs to physically be there, like where you actually see it in the store, or like
I'm willing to bet this will be in Best Buy stores.
I hope so.
As playable as a try it.
Not as a try it. It's just one of those things hanging there alongside like these My Arcade devices,
See, I would like to double maybe, but like I said, I hope I'm wrong. But there's like so many of these devices, like in Five Below and all. I hope they have to be able to see it. You know what I mean? It's just.
I think that's the intent. I don't think that they're expecting people to go online searching it out. I think it's meant to be on the shelf. Somebody is going to see it and pick it up.
Maybe, but it's a lack of communication, right? Because what people
lack of communication, but they can't. I don't know what's going on with licensing and everything. There's so much stuff going on behind the scenes they just can't come out and say.
But they can, though, and I'll tell you why.
No, they can't. They can't. They can't.
Let me explain why.
They do this. Oh no, they can't explain everything, and when you do that, you lose your licenses.
No, but they can at a high level. Like with the EXP, they told us the only way to get this was Capcom. What they need to do is they need to say, "Hey, we couldn't get a Taito cart, or we're going to come out with Taito." That's what I mean. They can explain that.
That messaging may be coming out. Who knows? They still got a couple.
Yeah, but it's
and if there is going to be a Taito collection, it's not even going to be till 2024 probably.
But it's the lack of communication. That's my whole thing. And not only that, they here's the other thing too, is that this thing is never going to get any updates, or is it? You know what I mean? Like the OG handheld. So that's like
that's what remains to be seen.
I don't
know
if it's going to be that. I wonder how they're going to do that, because certain ones you needed to have the OS update for the cart to work, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if it was the whole cart. Was there one where the whole cart?
So here's my big upset. It's the lack of focus, right? And I'll tell you why. Because they said with the OG handheld that they couldn't guarantee compatibility. Now they say with this, we'll never need updates. Sean said that they were thinking about if they came out with another Evercade system, it would be big like the Steam Deck, not a pocketable version. Now they have a pocketable version. So that's my main concern. Is I feel like So when we see that like Blaze is losing focus, or like, what are they going to do? Come out to the digital store next? No, I know that's not going to happen, but it causes a concern because like a lot of us like have like a lot of passion for this product, and we got
I
into
don't know.
this. And
Firstly, it's not an Evercade. Forget thinking it's an Evercade.
Yeah,
It's
I
not.
think
it is though,
I
but it
think
just
so.
again,
I'll just jump in. I think
yeah.
they'll never need updates. I just think that the expectation of this product, regardless of an Evercade slot, is like a disposable technology. You buy it, it's a
Yeah.
collectible. It's like those little arcade machine that has I forget who made it, One Up Arcade or something, or Arcade One Up, or one of the little companies had the Pac-Man machines with 3 or 4 games.
Oh yeah, that's this exactly.
Yeah,
This has
so I
got 3
think it's
games.
that. So the people who buying it probably have no expectation to ever probably put a cart into it. To be honest with you, that's the confusing part. I don't know why they did that. So they just need to explain that.
That's 100% the thing. Is that I don't think the people who are going to buy this. I think 90% of them are never going to put an.
I agree with that. I think they'll never probably be jumping into the Evercade. They'll wonder why there's a slot, and certain percent will go out and search out what slot is this. Oh, it takes Evercade. What's an Evercade cart? And they'll say, oh wow, my experience probably just expanded. Or a lot of people will just say, I don't really care. I just
Exactly.
our gadget. So
See, that's
the expectation of support past that. The expectation of support is not there as with the Evercade ecosystem, in my opinion. The Evercade ecosystem was built on there's stuff on the systems, both the VS and the EXP. There's games of the month. That's an actual ecosystem. Whereas this product seems like a stocking stuffer, like a one and done system that just happens to have an Evercade slot. That's kind of how I'm thinking it.
The Evercade
exactly. So why even put it on there if it's a throwaway product? Well, that's my thing. Why even put it on there?
The Evercade, when it originally came out, I don't think was intended to be updated as frequently as it wound up becoming, and it wound up becoming something entirely different, which is why they came out with another handheld and they're going to replace it. And
Ryan just said something. Sorry to interrupt, Crow. He just said something that I've been asking for years. Do like the PSP, put your firmware update on the cart, like they're doing now.
Well, that's a thing too.
Oh wow!
If you
That's what I
features,
remember, I've been saying that for years.
You've been saying that for a long time, Pete.
That's
why I loved about the
they
PSP.
could do that. But the thing is, though, too, like they're not going to need to update like the actual OS like you are with the current Evercades, where you're going to start adding features all the time. They're not. This is not going to be that. But for those games that don't work 100%, I don't think there's a cartridge that you put in and never worked to begin with. But if you wanted those games to be updated, if you happen to have another Evercade. Like an actual Evercade device, you can update that cartridge and then play those games updated.
We all saw how well that went. Okay, so let me address what AMD is saying. So now I haven't paying attention to Discord. My problem.
Don't ever go to Discord. That's your problem.
No, dude, I always check it out. My problem is that like I feel like the way we're being talked to is like your typical corporate response, like your typical like, generic that it's again like you said, Pete. It's communication, right? Like I wish. They just would have said, hey, we're making this device isn't for you. This doesn't interfere with our plans. You know what I mean? And then that's all.
You don't need them to say
I think it cheapens the Evercade brand. That's my whole thing.
But it's not an Evercade. It is not an Evercade. It doesn't say any Evercade anywhere on the device.
It is, though.
It's not under the Blaze label. It doesn't say it doesn't say Evercade.
No, but
you're both right. You're both right, and I'll tell you why. Crow's right, because, legitimately, there's nothing Evercade about written on the device. Ed and everybody else is right, because the moment they put a slot and say it's compatible with all Evercade devices, makes it a Evercade compatible device. Just like back in the day when Coleco put the Atari thing in there. Except the difference was Coleco didn't have the rights to do that. They got sued and had to create the Gemini, which is my first ever video game system, which played Atari 2600. The big difference is Blaze owns Hyper Megatech or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's been muddied now. So they are the same company, Crow. So whatever
they are. But I think that's why they have this different label too, is just to further separate it.
Yeah, listen, there are no wrong answers. My point is that I'm just saying for somebody who loves this product, who's a super fanboy, I'm just saying this is kind of like, like how I feel. I hope this is successful, but you've hurt your dedicated fan base. That's if you like look at the responses from my videos, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I just want to give you guys feedback that this I wouldn't have done this. It just shows misdirection.
You have 100% the right to have that opinion. Crow's got his opinion. Me and Crow are pretty much aligned 100%. I am really excited about the handhelds. I'm worried about the comfort factor, and I'll be brutally honest with it when I get. I usually am, but I'm excited the fact that they're trying to make more money, and they're doing it in a realm they're comfortable with. They've made videos before. They've made handhelds. They know how to produce stuff. Where they're probably got some lessons learned, and I think they'd all admit that, is around communication. Just getting their communication strategy out a little bit more clear. And I think once they do that. I mean, geez, giant companies fumble communication all the time. Like I wouldn't expect Blaze to get it right either. But yeah, I'm like like I said in my video, I'm like really excited, and I'm just making my own narrative why I think this happened, and I'm pretty sure we're probably close to it, to the truth of what happened here.
Yeah. We're all just
hit it pretty hard when he said, they realized a price point and they said, "Oh, we better put a slot in here or something."
So here's the reason. Okay, so here's kind of what it comes down that it upsets me, and it's kind of funny because again, Pete is usually right when he says these things. Because I know, like since the beginning, I think Pete, you've said that Evercade, like Blaze needs to stick with coming out with solid carts, having things working day one, and they haven't proven that yet, right? It seems like every time we get a new cart release, there's always a patch, there's something shaky. So I kind of feel like if Blaze can just prove themselves and just deliver what they promise, come out with great carts, have things be playable, don't have all this wonkiness, then I would be more fine with it. But I kind of feel like here's another distraction, right? And then there's not as much communication. And then even in this, like I said, like Ryan and Sean, I love you all, but y'all are being way too defensive about this. And so that, you know what I mean? That's just whatever.
Yeah. Let's talk about the device a little bit. Let's just talk about what we're getting, right? Let's separate the fact that, a lot of noise is around it, and good reason. Let's talk about the devices. So,
let's talk about the real disappointment let's talk about the real dispointment of the
devices. The ergonomics. I don't know how big they are. I think they're going to be fairly small devices. I've got big fat hands, and that might be a concern on the back button. But good thing most games don't even use those back buttons.
Yeah, that's true.
But I like the colors. I like the looks. I knew they were going to put a Capcom device out branded anyway. I just thought it was going to be an XP.
Hey, Rich.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Rich. Big and Rich is here.
Hey.
How you doing, buddy?
I just don't know how you're going
to... before we move over, let's get Rich's opinion on the whole...
Yes.
Not talk about the devices as like we're going about to, but just the whole rollout of it.
So we're talking about the rollout of the announcement. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, just the whole.
How do you feel? Yeah.
How you feel the whole thing?
I mean,
I kind of went on my rant.
So I'm not as hype as I normally would be. Hey, what's going on, guys? But I kind of understand, like in a business sense, kind of like where they might be driving this, and if it works, then great, right? But I guess the only thing is, we have to see this as, I guess, Hyper Megatech came in and said, "Hey, we're the thing that's, if everyone's rocking the Katie shirt, right? For everyone that's in that camp, this one might not be it's cool, but it's probably not like in that wheelhouse for you, And as long as we go in with that mindset, I think it is what it is, right? It's another product. It's got some cool stuff, And that's pretty much what I've been ever since the announcement. So, I mean, did I get them? Yeah, I went in. I mean, of course, it's me, right?
Did you get both of them, or did you get one of them?
I went in. I went on a fun stock because that's they got me. I went. I got the LE dual pack.
Oh, you got the limited edition. Okay.
Yeah. I went in. To be
honest, I didn't like the looks of those.
Yeah, I mean, it's like
I actually like the 90s.
I actually liked the crystal version of the Taito one better than the regular Taito one, but I liked the regular Capcom one better than this crystal Capcom, and I'm like, that's whatever. I'm like, but I really wanted the crystal Taito one, so I'm like, whatever, I'll just get it.
Just do like I did. Just get all four.
Just get all four.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So here's
Well,
where they would have got me. Here's where they would have got me. If it had looked anything like an OG, like Game Boy had like some Game Boy games on it or something, or if it looked like a Pocket Neo Geo or something like that, then
it
maybe.
looks
But
like a Game Boy.
That does look like a Game Boy.
Oh, yeah, it definitely looks like
the 90s one, the Seacher ones look just like a Game Boy.
see, to me, it looks
Well,
like one of those
the whole
knockoffs
gray look.
you find on Amazon. Like it has like that look and that aesthetic. And I think that's what they're going
Oh,
for if you want to get
I
this
gotta
to the
tell you,
main public.
the funniest thing I ever saw on somebody comment on my channel is they were talking about how I think they were under the impression that this was a Chinese knockoff that was like kind of usurping the Evercade stuff. Oh, look, this cheap knockoff Evercade came off, and he's talking about they were making it in China. They do this in China all the time. I'm like, you didn't realize that Hyper Megatech is really Blaze, right?
Oh, I gotta ask Ryan. Ryan, when's the next showcase? We only got 15 days left in a month.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
Well, didn't
answer
he
that in
announce
the
it?
chat.
Isn't it the? Isn't it the
Indies.
26th?
What?
Or we were just guessing.
It said July. The next update, the next
It did
showcase
say
part
just
2
the
is July.
July. And
Oh,
we
okay.
knew the end of July, but
So I
it's
guess
probably
the
gonna be-
26th was just my guess because they went on a
Yes.
Wednesday the last time. So
So
I'm
here's
gonna guess,
so
yeah. The last day.
so
of
here's what's
July 30th.
so here's what I'll throw something out. So I'll throw something out there. See if you guys agree with me on this. To kind of like the whole Evercade theme. Like I understand that like my channel, let's say, and all our channels aren't as big as somebody like Mad Little Pixel, but perhaps when you all maybe do something big like this, maybe if you guys kind of explained where you were coming from and your plans, then maybe you would have thought about differently. That's all.
And
You know what I
Pixel
mean?
like it.
Yeah, he did actually. I kind of gave the Mad Little Pixel response, and it's kind of like a rollover. It's kind of like a rollover. So like usually I'm excited for stuff like this, but this I'm just like I was, and I'm hoping the indie announcements will kind of win me back. But
How would you?
I kid you.
How would you have felt?
Well-
Okay, if it came under the Blaze name, it was called like the Evercade Junior, and it was able to be updated.
well, these are able to be updated.
I did like Donkey Kong Jr.
Yeah.
So that there was a clarification, if I'm not mistaken, in the Discord that said, look for critical fixes or whatever, that USB-C port is able to actually update.
That's what I was
device.
kind of thinking. I didn't see that, but I was thinking it would be correctable the same way.
But see, then it's a mixed messaging, right? Like I thought the whole point to go away from the OG handheld so they could focus on the firmware. See, that's kind of my thing is that like I feel like this is taking away their focus. Like it's contradicting what they're trying to do, and that's what's really frustrating.
I don't think
So
so.
what-
I mean,
so
if
what
you
the
got
thing
more
is-
people
the thing is,
working at
though-
the company.
Yeah, but the thing is, though,
Yeah,
like
apparently they've
there's
doubled
two
their size,
different.
right?
There's two different sides.
That's what they say, but I haven't seen the proof of it. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, we don't even have the product yet. So
Yeah.
well,
The proof is that they've got a new product coming.
I mean,
So
it's-
somebody
it's-
had to design it and plan it and project
Well,
manage it. Plus, they're publishing now too, right? So they're having their first published game. So that's all indications that they've grown in size. I'm just happy. The only thing that was relevant in Andrew's email, was the fact they've improved their quality team, their size of their testing team. That seems
Yes.
But what was I going to say? Discord. Yeah, I don't go to Discord because there's a hive of scum and villainy. But yeah, good information.
It's better than Twitter,
Now, what
I can get
what
rid
I-
of my Twitter. I don't use Twitter.
So,
All I get is Twitter.
what I want Blaze to say is I'm like, hey, because to me it seemed like we're desperate. This is the only way we can get a title license. I just wish they would say this opens the door, or we're going to get a separate title. You know what I mean? I wish they.
I don't think they can say that based on whatever agreement.
I agree with
on the
Rich.
handheld.
I don't.
That's
think we're
exactly
getting
what
a
I was
title
saying.
for-
It's all, licensed.
But they did it to EXP though. They said that's the only way we could get Capcom.
Yeah, but they did
So why
that
can't
later. They didn't do it right away.
Yeah.
They announced the Capcom thing, and then people freaked out about the Capcom thing, just like they did on this one. And
Yeah,
then
just like I'm doing.
later, they were like, "Hey, look, the story is X."
I have a
Okay.
title regret, so I'm good with Taito games, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But it's not
Let
portable.
me talk about one thing. The one thing that annoyed me the most about all this is they put out a Taito collection and didn't put Zookeeper on it.
Oh, that too. Yeah.
I'm okay.
Again, I mean, listen. If y'all, that's why I said like this product is clearly not for me. If y'all want to get it and it makes people happy, I mean that's,
Are you're not getting it, Ed?
No. I have no use for it. You know what I mean. I already have three Evercades plus a VS. Like I have no use for this product.
I don't
Yeah.
either. I still
I mean,
want it.
and
50%
I
off.
guess to further clarify, like why I'm having them in my house is
It's witness protection.
one of them is straight up, and this is
Let's hope
nice.
No, because like, but I'll tell you why I'm not buying it for a few reasons. One, like again, it's not for me. Like, I'm not going to get something just to support a company. And that's where I kind of said, like, if I want to play those Taito games because there's no physical collection, I'd rather play them on a Steam Deck. Or I'd rather like play them on a better quality product because I can't play it on the EXP or the VS. You know what I mean? Like that collection,
Yeah.
like you know what I mean. So that's
Well,
I don't have any use for it really.
well, I
You
mean,
know?
well, but for me, the need. Well, it's not necessarily a need. None of this is a need, right? This is all
Yeah.
Yeah.
pieces of plastic play video games on them, right? But out there,
Buys gifts, exactly. Yeah.
right? Buy as gifts, absolutely, 100%.
Or like if my kiddo said, "Hey, I want to get an Evercade," yes, I would buy this for her. Like I can understand you getting it for your, but like for me, like I just
Douglas and my nephew Logan here, out in the living room playing around. That's probably who's touching those things first.
Yeah.
Like you'll be like, hey guys, check out this and see if this is a little more comfortable than the Evercade that you borrow from me all the time. Not that I don't have enough to go around, because I've got 3 OG handhelds and 2 EXPs. Like we've got them. That's fine. But I can see sometimes that Douglas actually has a little bit of frustration when he's playing, these games. Now we haven't even touched on like feature sets or whatever for this new device, because it actually does have a feature that doesn't exist on Evercade. So, and it's designed for kids. So I'm actually interested to see if there is enough crossover where Douglas enjoys playing on the little device more than he does on the regular Evercade. And if that's the case, then, well, I mean, because of its small form factor, it's absolutely easy to just throw in his bag when we're going on trips or, we're doing whatever, and we can just take that. Plus, they're cheap. So as a parent, right, I don't have to worry about, handing my EXP to Douglas and then having something happen to it. And it was like, well, it's another, 150. I need to get a new one. On these little pocket devices, if he likes them, and they're comfortable for him and it works, then if he breaks one, okay, $60 is not huge of an ask.
So here's what I would have been better with. Like, let's say like if the Taito one didn't come out, I think I'd have less of a problem, because here's what's going to be a huge upset. Let's say they come out with a Namco one and they come out with a Namco arcade and we don't get a collection, because I still stand by what I say that if this is the only way that Blaze can get a license on a device, then they shouldn't do it. They should put that time and money resources that we can get like in an actual quality arcade
say
product.
We don't want money from anybody since we can't put it on an Evercade cartridge.
Right.
Now, I think that if they can do the license, but they can't do it on a cartridge, sure, put out another device.
Yeah, I mean, well, for me is like
exactly.
I would like other games and all that kind of stuff on the Evercade, of course, right? So like I hope that this leads to an open door later on that eventually gets Taito games specifically on the Evercade, because I like Taito games and I would like them on the Evercade. And if for whatever reason they could get the Taito license and I could get my Atari 2600 version of Space Invaders somehow on an Evercade cart, I'm a happy camper. But it is what it is, right? Yeah. Now, my deep disappointment about the Hyper Megatech launch thing at all, in general, though, is, man, we're talking about devices that play games, and we're talking about devices that play Evercade games, and we're talking about Hyper Megatech and Evercade at the same time. It's like, man, your original announcement about Hyper Megatech is going to be like, oh, here's a whole bunch of cool retro things that aren't necessarily Evercade. And the first thing that comes out is a thing that makes us all talk about Evercade some more. And it's like,
but it's not an Evercade.
You guys mentioned the thing, like you guys mentioned like, board games and like other stuff and whatever is like in the announcement, you slipped in some other stuff like that. Like, oh, hey, here's this little like, pocket thingy. And then also we got this cool like board game thing. And like, oh, well, at least like, we're showing the depth and breadth of like all the things that are available. But yes,
listen, here's my hope. Sorry.
The Super Pocket is not an Evercade, and yes,
exactly.
They have to drive.
Here's my hope. Here's what I want to happen. I want it to, I hope that I'm wrong. I can put it in the banner like Ed was. I want to be completely wrong about this. I want this to like double the Evercade player base, and I want someone to say, "Hey, if you were a drama queen, you were totally overreacting. Look what's improved." Like I want that to happen.
Right.
I don't think it will, but I want it to. I would love for that to happen.
I'm gonna say this right here, right? In the U.S.,
I want to be wrong about it.
in the U.S., if these devices wind up on store shelves during holiday at a Walmart or Target, I think they kill.
I think
Agree,
that's actually
100%.
the intent. I think they're intended to be in stores. I don't think the people that this is aimed towards are gonna be going online to order this.
Right.
I bought mine. I pre-ordered mine from Best Buy. I think they're gonna be on the shelves at Best Buy.
Mm-hmm.
They need to. No, I can't. Not listen. If this was like on sale, maybe like liquidation at $20, then maybe I would maybe pick it up just to get my hands on it to see. You know, if I happen to be in there.
Well, don't hope for its demise too early, there, right? Because
that's true. He's right. I can just ignore it. No, that's true.
You know what?
No, that's true.
Right.
But,
well, yeah, but it's the other thing, right? You know, there is all sorts of other crazy stuff that's going to happen. And yes, the 4 more cards that are going to be announced, like, you know, it's like the other thing for me as a collector, I'm like, man, how much more is my wallet going to take?
That's what grinds my gears.
You know, like it's like, oh man, you know, like I was not expecting the devices, and I want them.
150 for this, 150 for the atomic. Yes, yeah. Plus all the other, it's a lot.
Yeah, I mean it's
why am I getting it?
It's a thing. So a lot of people are kind of like hinting about things. Phantom just talked about a thing about like, oh hey, it'd be cool if a stand-up thing. Mike also was talking about, you know, things that happened with iArcade, like what happened if you like dabbled in like an arcade thing. Did anyone talk about Andrew's update today?
The non-update?
Briefly.
yeah.
The update. Well, I mean, the update non-update, right? Well, there's a paragraph in the update, right, that specifically talks about their wishes to grow for, you know, all avenues of retro, right? You know, like they dabbled in the, it's like, hey, Hyper Megatech is going to do some cool things, but specifically Hyper Megatech is going to do cool things for kids, and I think heavily implied this Super Pocket stuff is all for kids. You know, it's pretty clear that that's what that's aimed at. But he also mentioned the same thing for adults. Now, and he mentioned in the same vein that there's going to be affordable products and, you know, premium products out of the same brand. So, like, you never know. You know, maybe this was their plan all along to have like, oh, hey, Hyper Megatech's going to give you all these cool experimental retro products that we're just going to throw out there. And if they work, they work. They don't, they don't. But we're not going to stamp our main brand's name on it because, you know, if you throw something out there and it just like turns into a giant dumpster fire, you don't want to take the whole brand with you, right? So
well, why would they say that?
Actually,
and it also
why would they say that? It's just it's a lack of communication in this direction. You know what I mean?
Why did they need to explain every single, you know, business decision that they
right.
make?
Yeah, we don't like, we're just speculating here, right? But we also like, you know, like, it's not us to know every facet of what their business strategy is. And why would they? Why would they show their hand to everyone while they're
it's not showing their.
I mean, it's just like everybody else. You know, like,
it's reassurances, right? It's like, hey, we're not straying away from the original dream of this device, which is like physical media. That's all. You know what I mean?
I don't think in the Evercade sphere, I mean, they've said multiple times throughout every year that that's what Evercade is. This is, you know, like, but that's why Super Mega or Hyper Megatech exists, right?
Hyper Megatech, Global Hyper Meganet.
Yeah, they just cross the streams
Evercade. That's all. They just cross the streams a little bit.
Yeah, I think, like I said, mentioned in the video I made, though, this Hyper Megatech, these Super Pockets, they seem geared towards kids. So it's possible that the Hyper Megatech brand is just products for kids, that they're not going to say it's for kids, because if you say it's for kids, then the kids don't want it.
Yeah, the old kids like us won't buy it. But one thing that really grinds me, it's like, dude, they put numbers on it. So it's like number one. So they're going to actually produce quite a few of these, right? So they got number one and number two. And
I
didn't even notice that.
And I'm like,
that's what I mean. Like,
I got to get them all.
Dude, that's what I mean. They did an arcade one-up, having embedded games, coming out with a new thing. That's why they. That's
yeah. Yeah, that's the one thing for me that is like, I guess yes, they're leaning more into like collector stuff when they number it, and then
that's what I'm
they
just
said
saying.
specifically that there's more coming. Sean said that in the Discord, and they said yes, there's more coming. That's the one thing that scares me because, like again, as a collector, then it wants all the things, right? It's like I don't know if my shelf could handle the 45 plus Evercade cards, and then like a whole shelf of these super pockets. You know what I mean?
Clear.
But you could say anything that's Hyper Megatech, I don't need. Anything Evercade, sure, I'll collect that.
Well, see, here's another possibility. What if this does come off and it becomes so profitable? It's like, you know what? We're just going to sell these, and it's not really doable to make Evercade cards as much anymore. And now this becomes a new Evercade card. I doubt that would happen.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
But companies sometimes do things that don't make sense because it looks good on paper, and I feel like Blaze sometimes is getting in that gray area. I hope I'm wrong about all this.
I see where you're going with that, but I don't know about that because why then build an ecosystem after 2.5 years?
The whole point of an Evercade is that you don't have to buy new consoles just to get the games; you buy the cards, and this, you know what I mean. And that's what this Taito collection contradicts that. So,
but it's
if they said,
"Oh." Andrew
it's not an Evercade, so there you go.
HMT fan podcast. I'm going to start that up just for the pocket because I'm the only handheld channel of the four of us.
Because
I hope so, dude. I don't want Evercade to die.
It's like there already is a Taito collection handheld out there. It's just not by Blaze. So what does it matter?
Right.
Who wants to come on my new Super Pocket podcast?
Is there no more hot dogs? No more hot dogs?
Yeah, no, that ran its course months ago.
Oh, man. Too bad. No more hot dogs.
All right, my first guest will be Ryan. Right, Ryan?
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, see? Well, there's Ryan already. You got
okay. So that's good to know.
It's January. Well, of course. Because
I should hope so.
They said they were doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm so sweating right now. It's so hot.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like as far as
I just need reassurances, right? You know what? Maybe what'll happen is we'll get the new indie cards, and then this will be forgotten, and that you know what I mean. But again, Blaze, when you guys come out with the Duke Nukem, they better be perfect. They better be perfect, and a day one, no patches. They better be flawless, or else
they weren't really perfect when they first came out.
Well, Duke Nukem,
no corrupted save files. That's all.
But we're already getting the PlayStation version of Duke Nukem 3D, so it's already not perfect.
No, but I'm talking about like the remasters. That you know what I mean?
Hot dog.
No, but
free XP.
Yeah. No, but I'm serious though. Like as long as it doesn't take away from their focus, then I'm happy with that. We'll see when the next two new cards, the Pika 1 collection and the Sydney Hunter, are they going to require patches or are they going to be good? Because I mean, again,
Ed, you're talking like an investor. You're like, don't.
Again, I keep hearing, we're making improvements, and this stuff is happening, and then they, you know what I mean? Like, just show it to me. That's all. Just show it to me. Like, you know what I mean?
You're talking like an investor. You're like, it's like you got money in this.
No, but emotionally though, I think I don't live like I'm heavily emotionally invested in the Evercade ecosystem more than anything, and that's why I'm so passionate about. You know what I mean? Like sure. I'm very emotionally. I'm very emotionally invested in it. Yes.
But that would mean that anytime they put out anything that's not Evercade related, you'd be upset because it wasn't Evercade related.
If it takes away from it, but you know what I mean. But once I see they're on track,
you wouldn't know that unless you worked for them. You wouldn't know. You don't know what they're doing behind the scenes. I mean, they probably have all the people they could possibly be working on Evercade stuff. And you have time for these side projects now too.
Well, then I will know because the cards come out, and then they work, and there's no patches, and we get newer quality of life, features like button mapping that took forever to get. You know what I mean? Then it'll be good.
Yeah. So just wait and see. Don't worry about it.
Listen. I mean, again, like I think Pete said before, we're so passionate about it, and I think it's great that we all have varying opinions, and we're not yes men. You know what I mean? We're that passionate about it. We all have a different opinion. For this, and we love the Evercade ecosystem. And that's why I said there's no really wrong or right. It's kind of just how we all feel. And that's why I always said hey, this product isn't for me. But if someone else wants to order it and they enjoy it, I would never take that away from somebody else. I think that's great. I'm just saying it's not for me. This is not for me. It's not meant to be for me.
Come on, my Super Pocket podcast.
I mean, so the thing about that for me though is and in general about every aspect of every industry, right? Is the final arbiter of all of this is the consumer. In the end, the consumer's going to buy it or they're not.
Compute global hyper mega net.
Arbiter.
Like
word you
Sure.
and if the consumer doesn't buy it and it doesn't work out, then like, hey, people that were fans, like, okay, they get sad because it didn't work out for them, and then people that didn't like it, well, they never liked it anyway, right?
Yeah, it all depends if it sells, right? I'd like to know how the pre-orders are going. Like,
Yeah, sure.
they've got
I
strong.
mean, I'm a numbers guy. I always love to. Like,
Is the
But
one sold out?
so,
Is
so for me though, I don't know. Like, okay, so I get that they're doing this, and they come out with a limited edition. I was just kind of like, really? I don't know. Like I mean, I guess, but I don't know.
what for the Super Pockets?
Yeah.
It's fun stock. I mean, that's what they do.
Yeah.
They're
I mean, that's
owned
just
by the same company,
that's,
so
I mean,
yeah.
it literally is. I mean, how can we not expect that at this point? Because
There's a
it's
lot
like
of
every time
selling
they
it.
deals
Holy
like,
crap.
oh hey, here's like, I mean, like, well, I should probably just grab.
So, but what's interesting, if they do come out with a Miss Pac-Man, and they do come out with like,
And then
or they do come out with an S.
things. There's always an extra thing from Funstock if you order for that.
Yeah. But if they do come out with a Miss Pac-Man something, or like an SNK, then or like a Tetris, then I'm going to be conflicted. Then that's going to, oh my God, then I don't know.
Right?
You know
I mean,
what I
so
mean?
you never know, man. Never say never,
Yeah.
right?
You don't.
But-
So, I mean,
But what if it, so,
and that's the other thing is like we're all talking about like cool things that play retro video games on it. We're all passionate about retro games. We all love
but
it.
here's what I wonder if this will upset people.
Does it really matter in the end how the experiences are delivered if the experience that is delivered is good?
No.
You know?
No, it doesn't. But here's one thing, though, that will kind of upset some people. Let's say, because I know there's people that are probably just buying this for the Taito collection, and then they come out with an Evercade cart, and then people kind of feel like that they have to buy it twice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would,
But you know what the beauty part is? You could sell the Super Pocket. You don't have to keep it.
Yeah, maybe. The secondhand market.
Yeah.
Man, there's a lot of stores. There's a lot of stores under the where to buy right now. Like there's
a lot.
Before it was like 6, now it's like 20.
Yeah. That was a pretty big thing to see on that page. Like all those different options, like all over the place.
Yeah, maybe a Game Gear.
I'm waiting for those other ones to get I'm waiting for those other ones to get added though.
Yeah. Super Pocket. Super Pocket seems like, why is that name not trademarked?
Yeah, you would have thought that it would have somebody would have claimed.
Yeah, somebody would have made a console called Super Pocket.
Yeah.
So
I'm just gonna call it Empty Pockets because that's what I'm gonna have after I buy it.
We've got a console out there. We've got a console out there named the Mega Duck, and yet nobody thought of Super Pocket.
That's what I mean. I'm like, it has to be. Somebody has to have the trademark to that. Maybe Blaze does.
Right?
I mean, Hyper Mega Global Tech.
Yeah, well,
no, just need SNK license. Yes,
well,
no, dude, I agree.
So,
I agree with you. PC Engine will be announced in went too fast. I hope so. But again, guys, I want to be 100% wrong about this. I want to, dude, and if I am, please, everyone can like rub it in my face. I want to be 100% wrong. I want this to be successful, but that's just kind of like my.
If you're wrong, you're wrong. If you're wrong, you're wrong. If we're wrong, we're wrong. You don't need to rub it in anybody's face.
Yeah. I'm just saying, I want.
Well, so does anyone want to go in and talk a little bit about like the other things that like especially with the announcements of the next 4 cards, right? Ryan's in here, and then like he teased, I don't know, even 2 times or 3 times already in the chat. It's like, oh hey, by the way, on the Evercade side, we're getting another system.
We're beating this today.
Oh, hey,
well,
I mean,
I'll reserve that for whenever the next.
When the showcase
the next
happens,
one,
right?
It might not even be the next showcase. The next showcase is indie.
Yeah.
Which, by the way,
it is indie,
let me put this out there.
I thought
of a great indie collection, an Atari Age collection.
Right. Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, well, Atari is supposed to buy Atari Age, right? The
Yeah,
Atari Corporation.
the rumor is that Atari is buying Atari Age, and the rumor is also that Albert isn't selling any of those collections anymore for reasons. And maybe the reason is that Atari is buying all those licenses for those homebrew.
Dude, we need that. Oh my god, because those games, like, it's one of those things where unless you own it, it's hard. Like, they're difficult to play. And if you want to play them on a console,
like I'm right.
I love that.
I might be right.
What's up?
What? What?
Hush, hush.
Dude, that would be. If they announced that they were releasing the Atari Age, like if those were the indie collections, the Atari Age, oh my god.
And
Well,
it's
I mean,
funny
any
because
of
that
that
thought
stuff.
popped in my
Give me homebrew, give me all that stuff.
that thought popped
banging
in my
that
head
drum
this
for a while.
morning, actually.
Dude, that has me excited. That really is me
Yeah, because
excited.
I was kind of hoping that when they signed on for Sydney Hunter, they would have actually went and got the collector vision, because they have like 100 games, of which like a bunch of them are just ripoffs of other games, so they couldn't take those. But there's some original games there. I thought they were going to do a collector vision collection in which there was, because there's tons of really great games in their ROM collections.
But isn't that indie though? Technically, since it's made by independent developers, isn't it still indie?
It is indie,
Yeah,
100%.
that's what I was thinking.
ColecoVision games, they just play on the ColecoVision.
Yeah, I was thinking that totally would be screaming indie.
Yeah, because I have both the ROM packages on my Phoenix somewhere here.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I was hoping.
see,
Like Sydney Hunter is everywhere, like kind of really, it's cool, whatever. But I was hoping they would have got the collector vision stuff.
Yeah.
Certainly stuff that you guys aren't expecting.
That tracks.
All right.
I think that tracks no brainer.
Expected all day long.
Now I need a new clip.
It's all
I need
about
to
discovery,
get the clip.
right? That's the thing.
I need to get that clip. Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. That'll be.
Oh yeah, get out that crow. Yeah, you do. Oh my god.
Nice.
Yeah, the new movie that just came out. So yeah, probably. Okay. Yeah, no, that excites me. That excites me. I'll be.
Yeah, because
that'll be great.
Coming this month, right? Or start of next month. 2 new cards. We've got Pico Arcade and Sydney Hunter coming, right?
Yes, I'm looking forward to that.
In 2 weeks, so that'll be fun, right?
Pico Arcade looks killer in 2024.
Dude, the Pico Arcade. I agree with you, Pete. So much so that like I put that as a highlight of my new trailer. Like I'm really looking forward to that a lot.
You know what's funny? Funstock got the Super Pocket under the Evercade listing. Funstock.
So it is an Evercade. Well, yeah.
Oh no, they removed it. They had it there last night. They removed it. Okay, good.
Okay. Oh
yeah. They probably
it's gone. It's gone. I'm checking again. It's gone. Yeah, they removed it.
About that, Mike.
Video Game Plus has it under Evercade though.
So
the Hyper Mega Tech
like and Amazon will probably have it under Sega Genesis
or Nintendo Switch.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
Yeah. Listen, what I won't say. I will say though that with this reaction, there were several people on my channel that they were considering like rethinking the Evercade like ecosystem. I'm just saying like, this is how much it shook up people. Like some people, they were just.
I did a community poll. I said, "Are you excited, upset, confused, or could give a rat's ass about the new Hyper Mega Tech Super Pocket?" And so 37% said "woot woot," which is good. 15% said "F dem Hyper Mega Toys." 25% says my head hurts with all the questions I have, and 23% who cares? Talk more hand talk, please. So, yeah.
Well, there you go.
But I'm not an Evercade channel, right? So, I pretend to be, but I'm not really.
Oh yes, you are.
The Ever Canadian is not an Evercade channel.
I know.
It was never meant to be Evercade. It's meant to be I'm always Canadian.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway,
cool. Nice.
I mean, I do Evercade. I only got like 170 videos on Evercade, so I'm okay.
Right, yeah.
That's
not like you.
Gremlin 2 is quality. Oh. You know what? I'm waiting for that. No, I want it to be Gremlin 3. They need to skip 2 as a joke. It should be Gremlin 3.
No, please don't do that.
So yeah, my community.
No.
Believe it or not, I'd actually be really looking forward to a Gremlin collection to see is it so bad that it's good. I don't know.
I don't got no problem with Gremlin.
There's more titles out there that I played, so you never know. Hey, did anyone mention Game of the Month? Because I don't think we talked about Game of the Month.
No,
is there a new Game of the Month?
Yeah, there is. I put up a stream for it. I played it actually on Sunday.
What is it?
Yeah, Sunday.
Yeah, I watched that stream.
I was on holidays.
Magic. So. Yeah, Magic something or other.
Magic and Legend Time Nights.
Yes.
Yeah. Time Nights. Yeah.
Is it like a puzzle?
I was gonna do a video on it this week, but then this news dropped.
Let me tell you about this. If it tells you anything about the game, it's a Game Boy Color game, and I played through it twice in an hour.
Yes.
Oh, great!
Wow. That's. Yeah. So it's made by the same guy that made Quest for that, so it's really short.
Here's the other question that I need to ask Crow. On both of those playthroughs, did you have fun?
They're okay.
Yeah.
If they're okay, it's not like I didn't have fun. But I will say
it's an experience.
The game could have been a lot harder. I played it on hard, and the only thing hard about hard is they give you less lives.
Yeah.
But the least amount of lives you can have is 5. But then you're constantly gaining lives throughout the game anyways.
Yeah. I mean,
I
think it's a pretty rad. I actually played it before. I've played that game many times before the Evercade, for other reasons, but yeah.
I also don't like the cliffhanger ending. It's like they know there's going to be a sequel. It's like I thought, okay, now we're going to have to defend the Earth.
Extra
that's next month's game of the month.
That's next month. That'd be hilarious. I actually don't know if the dev is actually finished with the project though. The second
that
game.
didn't stop them from putting out Ronio's Tale.
Yeah.
True.
But yeah, no, I had fun playing it on the Evercade when it dropped for Game of the Month. It was good. It was good to actually play on an Evercade controller.
Ooh.
Because I like the.
VS I used an arcade stick. I never played. I didn't use a D-pad.
Oh yeah, no, I used a VS controller, and when I was playing, I played it on keyboard and I played it on keyboard when I played it the first time, because I had the.
Let me ask this: was there any reason at all to use the guy they give you at first with the short range weapon? Like the only advantage he has.
So was there ever any reason to use the melee guy over?
Yeah, the only advantage he
had
is he could jump on enemies, but you never really need to do
that.
So.
Range guy.
Yeah.
The game is so fun when you're using the range guy, yes.
All I want to say here, real quick, because
I mean that actually could be an additional difficulty level if you just only used the melee guy.
Okay, that's a theory. That's a theory.
I mean,
I do want to say here real quick because I will have to drop in 5 minutes since my family is waiting on me. But you guys can still, for once I have to believe it. No, I do like when Ryan he did tease that it'll be a banger, and what we've seen from Indie Heroes 2. That legit has me excited because I know.
Isn't a banger like a sausage?
Yep.
That's what everyone says. Is it a sausage?
Yeah. I didn't even see that comment when I said that.
It's a Burger Time homebrew.
They got so much slang over there.
Yeah. But no, all I want to say is that like after going through and going all this, I'm glad that the 4 of us could get on here, and I do appreciate everyone's perspective, and I think definitely take away to learn from all y'all, and if anything, this is kind of like therapy to kind of deal with it, and I like that we're all not yes men, we're all have various distinct opinions, and we don't all agree. That's what I think makes us all so great, is we are individuals and we're able to talk about this like this.
Well, I mean, but that's when I guess that's what you get when you have 4 people and you just put them in a room talking about stuff for 3 years. You're going to find out oh yeah, we all have different ways of looking at things and doing things. I mean, I guess you're always guaranteed, for me though, you're always guaranteed to have probably the chillest reaction ever, because you're outside of here, my life is so ridiculously crazy that this is my escape. All this plastic stuff, this is my escape. So if I'm gonna get heated about stuff that's plastic, then something in my actual life is going wrong. So I'm not all about that. So
I love how Funstack is packaging bundles with Evercade carts.
Yeah,
that's super it's
not an Evercade.
It's not an Evercade.
Starts coming in.
Nothing says you can have 2 totally different products bundled together.
I know, it's just funny though.
That is funny, Pete. I didn't realize they were doing that.
Yeah, pre-order, you can get the Super Capcom Super Bundles. You get that, plus Namco. Oh, they put the Namco collection.
Namco 2 is in one
arcade with it.
Yeah, I'm surprised that the first 2. I'm surprised the first 2 weren't Capcom and Namco. That would have made sense.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny to show you.
The chat is just talking about.
Hey guys, they've got a bundle too with 2 Evercade Lynx cords with an Atari 2600 joystick. So they do bundles with other consoles. So you can get 2 Evercade carts with an Atari joystick. The Atari Lynx bundle is called. This is funny.
Bundle?
Yeah, Atari Lynx bundle. You can get an Atari joystick that's compatible with the Evercade VS with the Atari Lynx.
That's cool.
But that doesn't make any sense. The Atari Lynx is a game.
Yeah, but it's a handheld.
It is a joystick.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm
It would
just
make more
telling
sense
you
if
what
they
they
did
got here.
I'm gonna go back. I'm going on fun.
Go under retro and then, yeah, I'll give you the chat. It's right here.
If they had like
So-
like the Atari 2600 collections.
Retro.
Here, I put it in
So,
chat.
so real quick, and then I just need to then I need to better. So it's kind of funny, personalities. Yeah, I would agree with your show. For me, I would say that like I'm a wild card. I could go either way. I kind of like live in the moment. I could either really like something or really hate something. You'll never know. So, but no, this has all been great. Not sure what I'm going to do next week on my channel. It may be the game of the month. It may not. But yeah, I'll leave you, Rich, to go ahead and close this out because my family's waiting on me.
Yeah.
But this has been awesome, guys. I appreciate it, and I'm going to disappear.
Later, Gator.
And
Later, Gator.
hanging. See ya. All right. So yeah, this Atari Lynx bundle thing. It's sold out because I think they don't have the Atari thing anymore.
Yeah, you can add it to your cart for me.
Oh yeah, it's sold out over here.
It's kind of funny though. It's like I guess it's compatible with the VS.
Yeah, I mean it's got a USB thingy.
And it's got a bunch of games on it. Oh wait, it's not compatible with VS. It's basically I don't know what the hell it is.
It's like a
There you
built-in,
are.
but it's
I
like
didn't
weird
see
'cause
any
it's,
link
it's
at
not
all.
an HDMI.
I
Here,
put the
I'm
link
gonna
in chat.
present it.
Which chat?
The game, our actual chat.
I must have
Public
missed
chat.
it because
Here, check it out.
There. No, that's it. Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Oh, it's only in Canada. You got a different button. There it is. Yeah. Keep
Yeah.
going.
And then it comes with the Lynx cartridges. There you go.
What? Wait a minute. What?
Yeah.
But they didn't give you any device to play those cartridges on?
No. You just have the
That's why I
cards
think it's so funny.
on the Atari joystick, but it's the Atari. Wait, the Atari joystick.
Imagine some kid getting that for Christmas and trying to find a place on the joystick to shove the cart in. It's like, it's not working.
They're trying to put it in the battery slot.
Clearly to me, they were just trying to get rid of these controllers, these Atari controllers.
Yeah, and they're just saying, like, yeah.
But it's like, I don't know, man.
Kind of
Yeah,
funny, yeah.
That's kind of a weird bundle.
Rediscover all this stuff. And, but it just says joystick, but they don't mention it in their thing. I don't know. It's weird.
EXP
That's a
keeps
weird
trying to
place.
update.
But yeah, the other bundles though. Let's go back to retro.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's the
At least those carts work in the Super Pocket.
Yeah. Well, yes, they all work in the Super Pocket.
Yes,
but it's,
yeah.
But it's Namco 1,
Yeah, Atari
1, and Technos 1 for the Capcom bundle. But they get different carts when you get the other bundle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just really interesting. All right, boys, I've got to go too. Family time.
No, you're rocking out. All right, we can wrap up. Anything you want to plug before you head out?
I put a new channel trailer up.
Nice.
Oh yeah,
That's kind of crazy one. That's up on the
trailer
channel.
or something.
That's
All
what
right.
it.
Yeah. No,
Otherwise, come on.
I say you have a new whatchamacallit, right? Member exclusive one, right?
Yeah, I put a member exclusive video up too. Yeah, I got a couple more coming. Gonna do for my members. I'm thinking of probably right now. Probably gonna do a July just Zoom call with all the members if they want, just to chat and chill. But yeah, lots of stuff coming.
Excellent.
Later, Gators.
All
Bye,
right.
everyone.
All right.
See you, Pete.
Bye.
Yep. And
All right. I think this is gonna have to wait till next week, Julian. We'll get all four of us back. And we'll do like our predictions for the indie showcase, unless they drop it on us.
I kind of mentioned a prediction.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think I'm with you on that prediction though, probably because it
didn't occur to me till this morning, and I was looking. I had a couple of Atari Age games, and it's like, you know what? I don't think it would be that big of an issue for them to put these in an indie collection,
right?
Unless it was like one of those licensed games that they probably didn't get that. Like they did Juno first and Zuki.
Right.
I'm not expecting to see those Champ games. Yeah.
I could totally see that happening though.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
So Crow, what you got coming up on your end?
Well, it's been like we haven't done this for a week, and so much has happened in the last 2 weeks. Last week, I was at the Video Game Summit, so I have a video up for there if you want to see the stuff that I picked up there. and footage of the show. It's like 15 minutes of the show and 30 minutes of me showing off the stuff that I bought, which I had to film twice because the first time I filmed it, OBS screwed up. Amazon Prime Day came and went, and I wound up spending $400 there. I got one of the things I got was a new capture device because the one I have, for whatever reason, whenever I record the Evercade stuff, the audio goes out of sync. It's always out of sync, but how much it's out of sync varies. So I can't just even just adjust. I have to do it little by little. So I got a new. I got this Unisheen. It's like an all-in-one recording device that records, so you can just record right to a flash drive. It works really good. I tried it once so far, and that's really good. I did put up a video about the Super Pocket stuff, and the only reason I put up that video was because of like everybody else's take on it. But also, I experimented with two things on that video. One is I used AI to edit that video.
Really?
So, yeah, I didn't even, really check it. I might, and I was just using a trial thing, but I actually might go ahead, and the thing is $15 a month to use.
Huh.
And then, even then, it's like you can only go 10 hours of video, and then it would cost more after that.
Got it.
I don't think I would hit that 10 hours, but again, I don't want to start paying for something that all of a sudden Premiere is going to start featuring as well. But it worked out pretty good, and so that took out a lot of time. But basically what it is it throws in there and you get the whole script of everything you said, and it automatically cuts out bad takes and silences, and then you can review that and put it back in just through editing the text.
That's kind of fun.
What is called Gling AI, I think, GLING.ai. That's what it is. I found out about that from a video. It's another video I watched. Supposedly I could use it for free too, like if you're on YouTube, but you have to link your YouTube channel and mention it in every video and then show that to them, and then they'll give you the credits for it. But I don't want to go through all that hassle for that. The other thing I did was that I don't know if you saw the thumbnail, but there's a Homer Simpson on that thumbnail, and I actually hand drew that Homer Simpson in Photoshop because
nice.
I couldn't find an image, an image that was good enough quality that I would wanted to put on there.
That's awesome.
Basically, I took a really bad one and then I traced over it and I drew the whole thing that way.
Very cool.
But and then I stopped doing the streams on Sunday. Instead, I'm doing somewhat of a podcast type thing every month. So I already have one of those out.
Nice.
So that's an hour and a half. We'll see if that turns into anything or peters away. But that'll also give me some more free time to work on other videos, other Sundays and stuff. So, yeah, it's just a lot of stuff I changed.
Very cool. Very cool. Oh, Sean's coming in. Ryan's coming out. What, you missed the whole show, right, Sean? Yes, Gene said you missed Ed playing Pete. Yeah, there's some spice. There's some spice in this show. If you want to go watch the replay, for sure. But yeah. So, in what do we got over here? We've got a giant mea culpa sorry for my hypertech video, which was 40 minutes one. So I don't usually do a 40-minute reaction to a 1-minute video, but there we are. And also StreamYard. I'm kind of a little mad at StreamYard right now, to be honest, because in my headphones I can hear certain things at certain levels, but for whatever reason I couldn't hear that the music was too loud in the video, and it muxes it together when you download the thing, so I can't separate the audio. So I put out the video and the music was too loud and everyone yelled at me, and I was like, all right, I'm sorry. All right, guys, I'm trying to really do an awesome thing. I got a buddy of mine is in a band and they're really good, and I'm like, oh sweet, I'll promote your stuff, and he's like, yes, please do. And I'm like, okay, awesome. So we're gonna work on that in the background,
and you promoted it too much.
Yeah, I promoted him a little too much. Yes, but yeah, so we'll fix all that. Hopefully, we'll be back to regularly scheduled stuff too, because work life has completely eaten me alive. Plus some other personal stuff. Hence the tribute episode that came out on Tuesday. That was a little bit of rough. I needed to just take a little more time, and we'll do so during this weekend too. It's a big weekend for me. It's wife's birthday and then our 15-year wedding anniversary, which is going to be awesome. So we'll be back probably. I might have something on Monday, but I might not. But we'll definitely be back like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, whatever, with some stuff. I got to get back on Atari VCS because I missed a game launch that happened last week with Tournament.
Which game was that?
Tournament is the name of the game. TURN. MENT.
Oh, okay. Tournament.
Okay. Yes. So it looks like it's a fun game, and then there's all sorts of murmurs. Atari's dropping stuff left and right. They dropped this new trailer for like a new recharged kind of series, but it's called
Lunar
like
Lander.
Lunar Lander Beyond.
I didn't see the video. I didn't see what that would look like at all yet. I just saw a mention of it somewhere. Is it on Steam?
It's weird because there's no. This is the one time they didn't do gameplay, and they're like, "This is a critically acclaimed developer and all of this other stuff," and it looked like it was like going to be like a AAA kind of thing. And I didn't notice the Atari VCS logo on the end of that trailer, so I got a little concerned about that.
Oh, well,
but
okay.
But I'm hoping. I mean, come on, it's Lunar Lander. It's your game.
Yeah,
you can't put it on the VCS. Like, come on. So we'll see.
Will be, but
we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
there.
I like Lunar Lander. I looked on Steam and I thought I saw it, but it's somebody else.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was Lunar Lander. What now?
Beyond.
What's the last Beyond?
Beyond.
Okay, it's not on Steam, at least
like
yet.
maybe there'll be more. You know, maybe there'll be Missile Command Beyond and Asteroids Beyond and Beyond. You know, that'd be cool. So like we'll see. But
It's
that's
like Lunar Lander Beyond Recharged.
Yeah, exactly right.
Lunar Lander Beyond Thunderdome.
Beyond the Thunderdome. Nice. So hey, thanks, John, thanks, Julian. But yeah, Sean's like, I like spice, except for the
spicy Buldak noodles. I don't know what Buldak noodles are.
I don't know. I don't think I've ever had those.
Speaking of which, you know how this is completely non sequitur, but you know how my wife eats ramen noodles?
Yeah.
She boil the noodles, drain all the water, and then add the seasoning, and then you're done.
Oh, I do that.
Oh, you do that? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because then you just get like direct salty stuff directly to your face.
But then I'm like, yeah, but I without all the water in there, what's filling you up?
Oh, that's true. Yeah, because there's like the ramen noodles or nothing.
Yeah.
But yes, I did notice the close up of the Sean pockets. So that was pretty cool. When we're watching that trailer. Were those other Blaze employees though? Were there all Blaze employees in the trailer? That'd be interesting.
We're talking about the Super Pocket trailer?
Yeah, the Super Pocket trailer.
What's funny is I watched it once. I don't remember seeing anybody in those videos. So,
oh no, I noticed. It was like the flannel or whatever. I think that gave it away.
Okay.
I was like, that's it. That's definitely Sean.
Well, like in my mind, I don't remember seeing anybody holding it. I don't remember like a shirt. I just remember the Super Pocket. Because the thing was, I watched the thing once. I wasn't even aware of it until I saw Pete's video. He's like, "Oh, they put out a trailer." They put out a trailer, and I looked, and it's like, "Oh, that's because it's under a completely different channel."
Yes, yeah,
that's why I didn't see it.
Yep, only video, like yeah.
Yeah.
So, yes, there were other Blaze peoples in there.
Well, there probably was, and I just didn't notice because
that's kind of fun.
Yeah, I mainly on the video I focused mainly on the email that I had.
Oh, wait, Skeletrix, Fate of Fiction. Was Lloyd here today? I always wait for 3, and then I claim GTC energy. If it comes at the end of the episode, that's fine. Someone else was in here. Oh yeah, Pete was here because he's always here. So boom, GTC for the win. Loving it. All right, anyway. Super Pockets would be great to be in the Jets games this season. We're up 32-3 at the halftime. Yes, please, Mike. Yes, 100%. Oh man. Oh, you know what? If they come out before the Jets Pats game this year, I'll have to bring a Super Pocket and then show people.
Oh, it just occurred to me. Like I was like just thinking how durable the Super. I was like, I wonder if these things are going to be really durable, if they're really meant for kids and stuff. They could take a beating. And I was like, well, if I get one, maybe I'll take it apart. And then I thought, and then it just occurred to me, like, a lot of people have been asking me to take apart the Evercade EXP, and I didn't want to take it apart unless I had a reason. I think I came up with a reason, so I might do that.
Ah, all right. Well, I'll be looking out for that because it's always interesting to see like those kind of things. So
I'm
all right.
actually heading to the hardware store today, possibly. So if I get
all
the
right,
tools,
all right, cool. Well, all right, guys, we're gonna wrap this up here for today. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us and talking as always. And until next week, we will be doing our own things, and we'll get back right back here to hang out with you guys for some more Evercade action. So we'll see you guys next time. Later. Did you hit a button?
Goodbye, everybody.
I hit the button
right.
twice.
See you guys.